South Park: The Streaming Wars is now available on Paramount Plus. This is the third movie from Paramount Plus with the South Park creators in collaboration with their 12-picture deal that they have spread out across the next 6 years with 2 movies each year, along with the TV show that they're also doing as well. So I was able to sit down and watch the new Streaming Wars special that they did exclusively on Paramount Plus, as I just mentioned, and I'm going to try my best not to compare it to the 2 post-COVID specials that we had back to back, but it's really hard when those 2 post-COVID specials were so good, especially with doing something different and aging up the characters. For this special, they go back to being kids. Part of me was okay if they wanted to stick with them being kids. The other part was okay if they wanted to keep them as the adults and maybe do the adults for the specials and keep them as children for the TV shows. But for this newest special, they decided to go back to being kids, and everything in this episode worked for me except for something that you're probably going to think is surprising. So Cartman is the best character on the show. He does despicable things, but he's still, for some reason, just so likable and lovable. Even when he's doing these horrible things, he's hilarious with it, and that's part of his character. But in the last season that they did, it was a short season. It was 6 episodes because probably of these specials, now the seasons are going to be shorter. Cartman's character never really stood out in this past season, and then it kind of transferred over to this special. His character didn't stand out. I don't want to say I was bored with his subplot in this special, but I definitely was way more interested in what was going on with Token and Stan, with them making the popsicle boats. I think that if they maybe just took the whole subplot of Cartman out of this special, I think that it actually would have been a lot better. Or maybe you could have just introduced another subplot, but the subplot of him wanting to get fake tits for his mom so he can move out of the hot dog, to me just didn't work, and none of the stuff that happened with Cartman made me chuckle. Right off the bat, I did notice, I don't know if I'm the only one, but the animation was a little bit off. Now, I'm not saying that it's bad. There are always, with a show that's been going on this long, there's always going to be improvements with animation. But I do think that the animation was just a little bit heightened in this special. We see Token and Stan working together most of the episode, which is great. I love that. But the best part, hands down, of the whole episode was Randy being referred to as Karen, and then seeing him actually be a Karen throughout the whole episode. That was the funniest part to me. And I actually made a Karen video, I'll have the link down below, of me playing a Karen myself. But taking a character like Randy, who through this whole series has just gone through different types of transformations throughout this show, playing World of Warcraft, and being Lord, being a weed farmer, now he's being a Karen. They're always progressing his character, and I just love that. I don't want to ruin right now what the villain of this special is if you hadn't seen the episode yet and you decide to click on the video anyways. But there is a villain, and we haven't seen him in a while, and I was actually surprised that they made him a bad guy in this. But nonetheless, I'm interested. Now I'll be waiting to see within the next couple months when they put out the next special how they're going to tie this all together. And while I am now interested, I want part 2 to come. That's also another thing that is bothering me, and I hope that this is not a continuous thing, that each special doesn't need to have a part 1 and part 2. I kind of just feel like they could come up with a story and shoot it and do it within the hour, and then on the next special do something completely different. And I feel like the part 1, part 2 stuff might get old a little bit. And especially if you're spanning them out weeks and months apart. All in all, I did enjoy the episode. I gotta sit and ponder on it a little bit more. The COVID episodes I still think are just a little bit better, funnier, a little bit more rewatchable. But hey, I just sat down and watched this, so I definitely need to watch it again. This is a show that continues to evolve. I love it, all the meta stuff in it. And yeah, I'm looking forward for part 2 whenever that's going to come out. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below. And what is your favorite South Park character? Let me know down below.